We are living in a society where most people still think that sexual reproductive health is evil.
Young people in primary schools, in secondary schools, as well as young people out of school, weren't empowered enough to realize their Srhr.
There were a lot of cases of teenage pregnancies. There's still so many cases of child marriages.
You know, establishing an institution is not easy, especially when you are bringing together big institutions. These are institutions with different mandates, although you may have one thing in common, but that is not qualifying you to come to be together. So first was a discussion around who we are, what we are up to, and whether we can come together.
At the time when the alliance was beginning, there were many considerations. The main important thing was to put actors that are working for adolescent Srhr together.
To work in a more coordinated way, in a more harmonized way, and also to implement what we call the multi-component approach.
A number of partners were on board, and we started working on this proposal. It was intense, a lot of discussion, and a lot of reflection from the many partners.
A lot of work was actually done with local leaders, religious leaders, and the different district officials to ensure that they are more responsive and respectful to young people's Srhr.
We are 8, we are like-minded, but you'll find Nafopan is very strong with HIV programming. You'll get Straight Talk Foundation, very strong serving young people in and out of school. Srhr Uganda also serves young people, but very strong on media. Uganda Network of Young People Living with HIV UNIPA comes in very strongly with the advocacy component. Center for Health, Human Rights and Environment, Srhr, is also strong, and actually the only organization that deals with legal justice. And Reproductive Health Uganda has been at it with the provision of Srhr services since 1957.
The Alliance's contribution is multisectoral, that it brings in the aspect of information to young people in and out of school. It goes further to do services to those that need them, that are in need of them and can't access them at the health facilities available to them.
Me as a young person, I sit on the board, realize that even all the voices that are around the world of young people are always heard, because we go through trainings, we go through capacity building trainings, the youth symposium that gather young people to know that they're not alone, whereby we look at young people living with HIV, the teen mothers, young people out of school, young people in school. So there are many categories of young people that come together to ensure that different scenarios are shared and how best we can be supported as young people under the Alliance.
The Alliance has really capitalized on the youth-adult partnerships, ensuring that young people, when supported, can really work well with the adults and they can get like really good results. The next thing has been meaningful youth participation. I think the Alliance, I believe the Srhr Alliance is one of those organizations that has transformed meaningful youth participation. It is not just about young people attending, it is about young people being in the discussion, it is about young people's voices being heard and being listened to.
Where you're operating, we see a lot of empowerment of youths, that even in the current period, part of the youths we have reached out are participating in the leadership of this country. But most important, the youths have appreciated their sexuality. Away from the time we started, when somebody looked at sex education as something to do with sex, they have come to appreciate what we mean by sexuality. The youths understanding themselves, understanding their bodies.
The Srh Alliance, Uganda and its partners, you have done quite a lot in helping our young people to, first of all, reduce on the early child marriages, which had really embedded Busoga so much that you could say that the youngest grandmother is in Busoga sub-region in Buyende district. So when you come out to talk about some of the challenges and creating safe spaces for young people to be able to speak about their challenges, to give them the guidance on how they can be able to take the future into their own hands, and has enabled us as culture leaders to package messages which we give to the young girl child. The Ugandan Alliance is really unique because we realize that nothing can go on in the Alliance activity without young people coming on board, without supporting young people to also take part in it. We own it.
A lot of the young people have been able to access services in the communities. There are a lot of networks of young people that we've been able to bring up. There are clubs for young people living with HIV. There are clubs in schools, there are clubs in communities, and a lot of these champions have continued to support the work that we started.
I've been really impressed with all the funds that they were able to bring in, and I hope they will continue to do so, and I hope other international organizations and donors will also see that this alliance is really it's strong, and this is also the future, having such a strong entity in the country itself with local partners, understanding the context and really making the case for sexual reproductive health and rights of young people. And I really hope that we can also at SIMAFI continue to work with the Srhr Alliance, because I've really enjoyed it, and I really do see that they can make a difference in the country.
We began as a project to serve young people in 4 districts in the Busoga sub-region. Along the way we realized, I think we can make ourselves bigger, and that's why we said now we must be able to move out of project mode to becoming a program and at the same time an organization. So we went into the transition, and I speak now, we have an independent secretariat that has even been able to mobilize its own resources, that we began with Busoga sub-region, and we are now moving beyond to other regions of Uganda.
We as the Srhr Alliance are looking at ourselves as the people that can make health of young people a priority as we move towards this so desired middle income status and plan better for our country.
This journey is to take sexual and reproductive health and rights of individuals in this country until it is enjoyed by everybody without discrimination. It is our wish that the Alliance grows to be a formidable network that is respected and can move things in this country.
Our focus is really to build this alliance into a center of excellence for Srhr programming, but also we would like this alliance to be a source of information, a reference point when it comes to Srhr information. And most importantly, we would like the alliance to be a capacity building entity for the practitioners, for advocates, for champions across the country.
We know what young people
need. Because we are young people.
I am ready.
I am ready.
I am ready.
I am ready
to advocate for the rights of young people.
We are ready to work with government.
I am ready to work with you.
Because we are young, energetic, and empowered.
We are young advocates.
We know our rights. I know my rights.
I know my rights.
We are the future.